Hi, we have Hubert here with us, also known as the Austrian. He's the founder of Bitcredit Protocol. Hubert, what inspired you to build Bitcredit?
Yeah, hi Luna. So what inspired us, it was actually the Greek financial crisis in 2015 when the Greek were proposed an austerity package by the EZB, by the EU, in order to save the debt from defaulting. And when the Greek voted 62% against this austerity project by the EU, with 62%, as I said, the EZB simply shut them off from the fiat money supply, which of course is a disaster for any country. But when we realized that in this situation, the Greek people couldn't simply switch over to Bitcoin, but they were just stuck without fiat because nobody could buy Bitcoin, we realized something is missing, whereby economy can create Bitcoin credit money to supply the economy with Bitcoin for exactly such a situation of crisis.
Amazing. And how can a normal business benefit from Bitcredit in a real, everyday way?
Now that we built Bitcredit Protocol, it's possible for businesses to sell their goods on credit, let's say 60, 90 days, to be paid later. But they don't have to wait for the money anymore because they can have the other business issue a so-called bill of exchange. And with that bill of exchange, the business which sold doesn't have to wait for the money, doesn't have to block their capital. They can sell this bill of exchange, they can pass it on to somebody else, or they can mint it into credit money, satoshis, which you can use for payments just like you can use Lightning or other e-cash, but in a non-custodial way, which is important for Bitcoiners, let's say.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what do you think is still missing for Bitcoin to be used more worldwide?
Yeah. So what Bitcredit Protocol has built is actually the second half of Bitcoin, which is missing. Because Bitcoin right now is store of value. Yeah. Some call it a pristine collateral. But a pristine collateral is actually the wrong way to look at it. Because if you're just collateral for a currency, in this case, fiat currency, we stay on the fiat system with all its problems. It's a monstrosity, that system. So it means we need to use Bitcoin directly. And in order to use Bitcoin in trade and industry, Bitcoin needs a currency, which means use the bill of exchange to create medium of exchange, MOE, which then circulates in the economy, which pays workers. Companies can pay workers, the workers can spend it, and therefore it goes back to companies, which means Bitcoin is starting to become circular instead of friction when Bitcoiners buy Bitcoin, spend Bitcoin, merchant sells Bitcoin against fiat, Bitcoiner needs to buy it again. So right now we are friction, and with Bitcredit Protocol, Bitcoin will become truly circular.
Sounds lovely. Thank you so much, Hubert.
Thanks, Luna.